Hello everyone, good evening. I hope you had a great day today, and today we are going to discuss a little bit about the morphology of flowering plant. Now in the previous class we had actually discussed about the first part was about the roots and the stems, the modification, the primary function, the secondary functions. We have discussed about all of those things. But today is basically on the flowers and the leaves. Okay, so I've divided it into three parts. Okay, the previous day was roots and stems, today will be flowers and leaves, and the next day will be about the seeds and the fruit. Okay, so I hope you're following all the videos. You can find it on the Practically channel on YouTube. Okay, so I'll tell you a little bit about Practically about us. We are an experiential app, okay, and you can find a lot of videos, simulations, etc., which runs for 6th grade to 12th grade, and everything on every topic you'll find a lot of materials, okay, videos and written material which will be very helpful for you. And you can like, share and subscribe to our channel, okay, on YouTube. You can also follow us on Facebook and on Instagram. Okay, so coming to the subject, as I said, today we'll be discussing about leaf. Okay, before starting, I'll just tell you that if you have any kinds of doubts, anything, you can just put it on the chat box. I'll be watching you, or I'll be watching your things, whatever comments you have. If you have any doubts, okay, I'll be checking it out and I'll try to interact with you more. Okay, so as I said, we'll be starting with leaf. Now, leaf is a part of, one second. Okay, leaf is a dorsiventrally compressed lateral appendage of the stem at the nodes. Okay, very heavy sentence. Okay, I'll just break it up so that it is easier for you to understand. Dorsiventrally compressed, as in, although it is compressed, it is flattened. Okay, it is flat in nature. Dorsiventrally, as in the lower and the upper side, okay, are different. Okay, their texture, their feel, their shape might be a bit different. Okay, lateral appendage here means appendage. Whenever you say appendage, it means limbs. Okay, limbs as in whatever you have, legs and hands, like that. Okay, appendage. Here it is a part of a stem. Basically, it means it is a part of the stem. Okay, and it rises up from the nodes. And basically, leaves, the function of leaves are, it performs photosynthesis because it is autotrophic in nature. Okay, very easy. It is autotrophic in nature. It makes its own food. So that's why it is photosynthesis. So photosynthesis, and that is done with the help of chloroplast, which is not available in any kind of animals. Okay, whenever we talk about plants, it has a chloroplast which helps in photosynthesis, and it makes its own food with the help of sunlight or any kind of light and carbon dioxide. Okay, so that is what leaf is. Now basically we'll learn about the characteristics of the leaves. Okay, so it's thin, as I said, it is flat in nature, expanded, and green. Green color is provided by the chloroplast. Okay, and green color of the leaf, as I said, chlorophyll pigment in the chloroplast. Okay, it is exogenous in origin. Exogenous basically means it rises up from the stem. Okay, it is a part of the stem. It is born on the stem at the node. Okay, you have nodes and internodes from where different structures might come out. So it is born at the node. An axillary bud is often present at the axil of each leaf. Okay, this bud thing comes out whenever there is an extra appendage coming out. That is where the bud. And it has limited growth. See, roots and stems, okay, they have unlimited growth. They can grow, although up to a certain level only, but they can grow to a lot of shapes and structures. They can give rise to a lot of shapes and structures. But when it comes to a leaf, up to a certain limit only it will grow. It will grow. Okay. And it does not possess apical bud or regular growing point. So it is not, from there you cannot grow, you cannot expect, or until and unless it is a special kind of leaf like bryophyllum or something, there it does not give rise to another plant or something. There are exceptions such as bryophyllum, which basically it gives rise to bryophyllum. Basically it looks like this. Okay, if this is the plant, from here another plant grows. Okay, from here it has buds. Okay, apical buds it has, and another plant grows. This is how a bryophyllum looks. But that is an exception. Mostly they do not have any kind of apical bud. Okay, so now parts of a leaf. Basically there are three parts of a leaf: the fleshy structure, which is known as the lamina. Okay, the petiole, from where the lamina comes out. Okay, and the leaf base. Leaf base is the base which connects it to the stem. Okay, so leaf base, first we'll talk about leaf base. Part of leaf attached to the stem or branch is known as the leaf base. Okay, and it might assume different kinds of shape. It might be flat, in some cases it is hollow, some cases it is full of cells. Okay, so different types of trees, different types of leaf bases. In some leguminous plant, the leaf blade may be swollen. As I said, it might be hollow or it might be swollen, full of cells. That leguminous plant is called as pulvinous when it is full of cells. Okay, in some plants they have lateral outgrowths. Okay, that is known as stipules. They have outgrowths like this. Okay, those are known as stipules. Now, leaves without stipules are called exstipulate and are usually, stipules are green in color. And the main thing which it does is, main functions of stipule is to carry out photosynthesis. Stipules carry out photosynthesis. Okay, so that is, mostly the plants, they do not have stipules. If they have, that is known as photosynthesis. That does photosynthesis. Now petiole. Petiole is the stalk, basically the stalk which holds the lamina. Okay, branch or the stem. Okay, and leaf that possesses petiole are petiolate leaves. Most of them have petioles. Okay, are usually cylindrical but maybe hollow in papaya, tubular. Here also, like how it was in the base, here also it can be hollow, or there can be a lot of different things. There can be swollen, it can be flattened, depends on the different kinds of trees. Okay, and the function of petiole is to raise the lamina, to expose it to more light. See, the function of a leaf is basically to do photosynthesis. Okay, until and unless it has some extra features which provides it some kind of support towards photosynthesis, the basic idea of a leaf is for photosynthesis. Each part has its own work, right? Like how roots, they take the water and put it off. Okay, nutrients and everything. Stem makes it reach to different parts. Okay, now flower has a potential to reproduce. So what is the basic function of leaf? The basic function of leaf is photosynthesis. Now, to do that photosynthesis, it has different parts. So the petiole here makes sure that the leaves face towards the sunlight so that it gets the maximum light. It can attract the maximum light and it can do photosynthesis. Okay. Now, the lamina. Lamina is the fleshy part, the major part of the leaf. Sorry, major part of the leaf is known as lamina. It is the largest, most important green, okay, and flattened type of flattened part, plays a vital role in, as I said, most important part is photosynthesis, gaseous exchange and transpiration. But the most important is photosynthesis. Leaf is dorsiventral. I told us this is the first word we learned. Dorsiventral as in, okay, it's upper and lower structure is different. Okay, upper can be a bit waxy and lower can be a bit rough. Upper may have a little bit more ribs, lower may have a little bit less ribs. Upper may have a little bit more chloroplasts, lower part may have less chloroplasts. So it can differ structurally, physically, internally, anything they can have, they have a difference. That is why it is known as dorsiventral. Okay, for example, dicotyledonous leaves. Leaves having both similar surfaces are called isobilateral leaves, such as in monocot plants. But most of the plants are actually dicot plants, and it is dorsiventral in nature. Okay. Now, leaf venation. Venation basically means when you see a leaf. Okay. Whenever you see a leaf, what do you see? You see there are veins, vein-like structure. Like here, can you see? Here you can see vein-like structure. Okay. It has broken like this vein-like structure. Okay. So these vein-like structure are known as venation. And it is different, okay, in different plants, okay, in different kind of leaves, it will be different. No one leaf will have the similar type, or no two leaves will have the similar kind of venation. Okay, and conducting strands of lamina. These veins make sure that the lamina has a proper shape. Veins make sure that lamina has a proper shape. Okay, and they are concerned with the conduction of water. Okay, so what they do, you know, photosynthesis. What is photosynthesis? Is basically CO2 plus H2O. Okay, and when there is light, okay, it forms C6, H12O6 and oxygen. Okay, so where does this H2O or water come from? This H2O or water is collected with the help of the veins. Okay, so this veins make sure that there are, like, the leaf gets enough water, the lamina gets enough water. This is made sure with the help of the venation or the veins. Okay, so if you have any question, please let me know in the chat box and I will try to find a solution to it. Okay, now venation is different in different plants. Okay, the vein structure is different in different plants. Okay, sometimes it is known as reticulate venation. When is it known as reticulate venation? When they form a proper network. Okay, see, in this leaf you can see it is forming a proper network. Okay, one leading to another, leading to another, leading to another branch, another branch, another branch. Okay, it's leading to another. This is a network. Okay, this network forming veins is known as reticulate venation. Okay, so this is the main rib. Okay, main vein is in the central, and then the veinlets, they form a network. This is mostly found in dicotyledonous plants such as mango, etc. Okay, so in mango, it will have a single mid vein. Then there are another plants which have two, okay, two or more mid veins. Okay, two or more mid veins. Mid veins, as in this structure, can you see? This is the main vein. So there will be two or more, okay, two or three, such as Ziziphus and all. They'll have more. That kind of known is called multicostate. Okay, single one is unicostate, and the double one is multicostate. Okay, so next there is parallel venation. Here, what happens? One second, yeah. Parallel venation mein what happens? There is no network. Okay, it is not related. Okay, see here it is. This one is a banana leaf, so it is forming like they have their own structure like this. Can you see? This is the mid vein. This is the main one, and then they're not connected to each other. Okay, so that kind of leaf is known as parallel venation. Okay, they are just parallel. When you say parallel line, what does parallel line mean? They go in the same direction, but they do not meet anywhere. Go in the same direction, but do not meet anywhere. Okay, so that is known as parallel venation. Okay, and it is mostly found in monocotyledonous plants. This is also two types. There is unicostate, okay, which has only one. See, banana has only one mid leaf. And then there is grass, which may have grass, rice. They have two or three mid veins. That is known as multicostate. Okay, so if you have any questions, just put it in the chat box and we'll talk. Now, the different kinds of leaves. These are the different kinds of leaves. Basically, there are two kinds of leaves. They have their own modifications as well. But the first thing is a simple leaf. See, simple leaf just means, as I said, there will be a base. Okay, there will be a petiole, and there will be a lamina. Okay, so when there is one petiole, one lamina, and one base, that everything is one, that kind of leaf is a simple leaf. Okay, in which single leaf blade or lamina is present. So everything is one petiole, one base, one lamina, basically one lamina, such as mango, peepal, papaya, etc. Now there are some plants, okay, in which this thing has, okay, base, then they have the petiole and the stalk and everything, but there are multiple laminas. Okay, there are multiple laminas. Okay, and this is known as leaflets. Each of them, this is one leaf, but these things are known as leaflets. Okay, so that is known as a compound leaf, and they never have axillary buds. They cannot never give birth to another plant. These might have, okay, they might have, but compound leaves will never have an axillary bud. Okay, so now compound leaves have different, as I said, they'll have their own modification. Compound leaves will have their own modifications according to the number of laminae. Okay, so when it is unipinnate, they'll have only, okay, one, this thing they have, one stalk they have, and from there only one branch. Okay, one kind of branch, that is unipinnate. Then there is bipinnate. Okay, their branches will have other branches. Okay, when branches bear other branches, that is bipinnate. Tripinnate, then again 3 branches. Okay, unipinnate is 1 branch, bipinnate is 2, tripinnate is 3, decompound is as many branches as possible. Okay, so this kind of branches where they are segregating in different kinds of leaflets, okay, that is why compound leaves are called unipinnate, bipinnate, tripinnate, and decompound. They are according to laminas on different number of branches. Okay, they can extend. Unipinnate is 1 branch, just little bit. Bipinnate, they'll have 2 branches, 1 main and then second one. Tripinnate will have 1 main, 2 different. Then again, there is decompound where there will be n number of things. So that will be decompound. Okay, then there are palmately compound leaves where, okay, leaflets are palmately compound attached at a common point and then they will be segregated. See, here it is a common point. They are extending from a common point only and then they are segregating. See, one common point and then they are segregating. Here, one common point, segregating. So, these have one common point after which they segregate. Okay, so unifoliate will have one, like two types of leaves, 2 parts. Okay, bifoliate will have 2. Unifoliate will have 1. Okay, 1 difference. Bifoliate will have 2. Trifoliate will have 3. Quadrifoliate will have 4, and multifoliate will have multiple. You can see it in the diagram and you can understand. See, this is 1 point and then it's going 2, 3, 4, multiple. So these are known as the palmately compound leaves. Okay, so again, if you have any question, people, please write to us. And I'd like to, hi Tushar, hi Shri Tushar, hello, welcome. Okay, if you have any questions or anything, please put it in the chat box. Okay, now Phylotaxi. Phylotaxi is nothing. Okay, as I said, there are arrangement. Okay, you have compound leaves. Okay, one to another to another. Okay, the arrangement of leaves is known as Phylotaxi. This is mostly for compound leaves. Okay, because simple leaf will just have a base, a stalk, and one lamina, right? But compound leaves might have different laminas, 2, 4, 8, 10, 12, etc. Different kinds of laminas they'll have. So those arrangements on the compound leaves are known as Phylotaxi. In this type, alternate Phylotaxi, single leaf arises at each node. See here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, single. Okay, at opposite directions. Now in this type, 2 leaves arise from each node in opposite direction. Here it's just 1. Okay, this is alternate. Here, two. One node, but two mid veins. Okay, so this is opposite. Then decussit, when one leaf is placed at right angle next to the lower. This is decussit. Okay, finally, in this type, all pairs of leaves on stem are arranged one above the other. Okay, how it will look like this. Like this somewhat, okay? They'll be one after the other, one on top of the other, one on top of the other, like jamun, guava, etc. They'll be superposed on each other. That is known as superposing phylotaxy. Okay? Next, now leaves also have modification, basically 3 or 4 kinds of modification. The first one is leaf spines, which is found in cactus, opuntia. Okay, why? Because here the stem works. Okay, the stem, because of the environment, because these plants live in extreme environments. So the stem becomes leaf, okay, and does photosynthesis and performs photosynthesis. Okay, whereas the leaf becomes spine, and instead of photosynthesis, it works as a defense system. Okay, so that is known as spine. Sometimes only one part of leaves, such as stipules, get modified into, such as Ziziphus and Acacia. Okay, so they don't, these spines, they don't perform photosynthesis. Okay, so this is what happens when it modifies into a spine. Then there are tendrils. Basically, tendrils are used in case of climbers. Okay, so when the stem is actually weak, but the plant has to grow, okay, it uses a support is required. Okay, so for that support, the tendrils extend to get a support. Extend to get support. Okay, so sometimes in wild pea, entire leaf is tendrilar. Like the entire leaf, the leaf system will just be tendrils only. In sweet pea, the leaflets are tendrilar. Like here, the leaflets, this thing, this structure will be tendrilar. They have different things. Okay. Now in Gloriosa, only leaf apex modifies. In Smilax, stipules become tendrilar. So different parts of leaves become tendrils in different plants. Okay, so next, hooks. Hooks, basically they work like tendrils only, where tendrils, they just provide the climbing thing option. Your hooks, they just, although the stem might be a bit proper, okay, the stem might be not so weak, just hooks, they also grow to catch on a support. Okay, they cling to the bark of tree and help the plant for climbing, such as Binonia. Okay, is an elegant hook climber. There'll be 3. Okay, mostly it will be claw-like structure. Okay, there'll be 3 or 4, mostly 3 only. It will just hold on to the bark of a tree or some kind of wall or something, just to climb mostly on, seen mostly in climbers. Okay, so next, phylode. Okay, phylode, basically it becomes when the petiole becomes flat. Okay, instead of the lamina becoming flat, the petiole becomes flat, green and leaf-like form, and performs photosynthesis. Instead of lamina, the stalk, the petiole, becomes flat and performs leaf functions. Okay, so for example, acacia, okay, normal leaf is bipinnated compound and falls off. That's why, because the leaf is falling off, the petiole instead performs a photosynthesis. Okay, mostly this is found in plants in living in extreme conditions, too hot, too cold, etc. Okay, that is a phylode. Now we are going into flower. If you have any doubts, please let us know and we'll try to understand your doubt. Okay. Okay, so flowers. Flower, basically, as I said, different parts of the plants have different functions. Flowers are basically there to help in reproduction. Okay, so basic function of flower is reproduction. So basically a reproductory part in the plant. Okay, so now here also we'll learn the different parts of flower, and then we'll know what kind of flowers there can be, the different, where the different petals are there, and what are the parts which actually, because we are learning the morphology, we learn which part is dedicated towards reproduction and which parts are not important for reproduction, like that. Okay, so the first thing is pedicel and thalamus. These are not actually a part of the flower. These pedicel and thalamus, these hold the flower. Okay, the stalk of the flower is the pedicel. See here. Okay, this is the stalk which holds the flower onto a stem. Okay, now there can be flowers without pedicel also, which are called pedicellate. No, sorry, with pedicel also pedicellate, and without pedicel are known as sessile. Thalamus, here whatever extra you can find, whatever extra parts you can find, that is known as the thalamus. Okay, or receptacle or torus, and they have nodes and internodes. They give rise to the flower, right? So they have nodes and internodes, and from each node a whole of modified leaves is produced. Whole, what does a whole mean? Whole basically means the whole flower, the sepals, the petals, okay, the androecium and the gynoecium. Okay, these four parts make the whole. Okay, that the whole plant, like the whole flower, which has four parts, sepals, petals, androecium, gynoecium, they are known as the whole. Okay, so as I said, the floral whole, four parts. Okay, so there are non-essential, which does not participate in reproduction. Okay, so they are non-essential, such as calyx and corolla, sepals and petals. Okay, and there are essential, which takes part in reproduction. That is androecium and gynoecium, the male part and the female part. Okay, so they are the essential and the non-essential parts of the wholes. Okay, first we'll know what exactly a flower is, then we'll understand the different kind of flowers, how on the basis of where the petals are placed. Okay, now again then we'll try to understand the androecium part and the gynoecium part. Okay, so the first is a flower normally arises in the axil, a small leaf-like structure called bract. Flowers with bracts are known as bracteate, and without them is ebracteate. Okay, it is complete when all four wholes, sepals, petals, or calyx or corolla, okay, androecium, gynoecium, all four are present. That time only it is a complete. And when one or more of them is absent, then it is an incomplete flower. Now, a flower is said to be bisexual or hermaphrodite when there is both androecium and gynoecium present. This is most of the plants have both androecium and gynoecium. And when one of them is absent, either androecium is there, or that is either male part is there or the female part is there, then it is known as unisexual. And when none of them is there, when neither a female part or a male part is there, then it is known to be a neuter. Okay, so there are different kinds of flowers. Now, symmetry of flowers. Flowers can be differentiated in terms of symmetry, like how the petals are placed. On basis of that, they have divided it. One is actinomorphic. Okay, this is actinomorphic. From any part you divide it, they'll have equal halves. From any part you divide, they'll have equal parts. That is actinomorphic. Zygomorphic can only be divided once. Okay, only one, only you can divide, that is bilateral. Okay, this is radial. Okay, this is bilateral. And then there is asymmetrical, anywhere like sweet pea and all, anywhere you cut, it won't be equal. Okay, that is known as asymmetrical. Now we'll go to calyx, that is sepal. Okay, basically the outermost part which is holding the flower. Okay, this holds the flower. That is the calyx. Here you can see this is a China rose. Here you can see this is holding the whole flower. That is a calyx. Okay, now it can be free. Okay, it can be like this. Okay, that is Polysepalus, that is brassica. Then there is China rose. China rose will look like this. Okay, that is fused Gamosepalus. Then there are plants where sepals just fall off. That is Caducus, Argemone. Deciduous, where they are, whenever the petals are falling, during that time, they'll be there. And then there is brinjal. Brinjal, when we see brinjal, suppose this is a brinjal, it still has its sepals. This is how it looks, a brinjal. Okay, so it still has its sepals. So that kind of plants are known as persistent. Okay, so what it does photosynthesis, it attracts pollination, it helps in dispersal of fruit, seeds, etc. And it protects. Basically, as I said, it holds, it protects the bud. And it's small when it hasn't grown up, that time it protects it. Okay, corolla. Corolla basically means the petals. Okay, here you can see this is a beautiful picture of a flower. These fleshy parts, pink parts, are known as the petals. Okay, this is the petal. The basic work of a petal is to attract insects, okay, so that pollination occurs. As you can see, attraction, okay, and they store nectar and protection of the inner essential holes. It protects the androecium and gynoecium. Okay, now petals can be free. Okay, when you take out petals from rose, they're all free. Like one, you break one out, the other ones won't fall. That is a rose. Okay, that is polypetalous. Then there is gamopetalous, where everything is fused. They are one on top of the other. When you break one out, the other one will fall. Okay, that is a fused one, such as datura. Okay. Anybody else? Anybody has any question or anything? Okay. So next, there is perianth. The whole calyx corolla together. When you call calyx and corolla together, that is known as a perianth, and they are known as tepals. Not all plants, okay, not all plants they have tepals. Some plants only they have. So they also have, they both act as calyx corolla protects there's photosynthesis, and because they have petals, of course, they'll attract for pollination. They also have different, when they are free, okay, they are polyphylous. When they are fused, they are gamophylous. When they have, they are green in color, as in doing photosynthesis, okay, they are sepaloid. When they are colored, they are petaloid. Okay, so now we'll learn about the aestivation. Aestivation just means how petals are standing on the flower. Basically, it's the presentation, how the petals are there. Okay, that is known as the aestivation. Okay, so the first one is the valvate. Valvate is here, as you can see, they are not connected. Everything is different. Here, this is datura flower. Okay, they do not overlap. Okay, they are all separate. This is known as a valvate aestivation. Next is twisted, where it is overlapping. Okay, so there is overlapping, as you can see here in China rose, one overlaps the other, one overlaps the other. Okay, it is like this. Okay, so that is known as twisted, just China rose. Imbricate, what happens? One of them is there. Suppose one of them will be like this. Okay, and then the other one will be overlapping. One is free and the other is overlapped. Okay, so one free, others overlap, such as Bohemia. Here you can see this one is free, the other parts are overlapping. Next, vexillary, when it is fly shaped. See, this is P. Okay, they're all butterfly. Here you can see the part. This is one part, this is another part, and there is another part. So it has 5 petals. This is how it basically looks, vexillary. There is one part. Panes of the leaves are useful for mechanical support, transportation of water and minerals, transport of organic nutrients, all of the above. The answer is all the above, because it provides mechanical support, it provides transport of water, it provides organic nutrients. So the answer is D, all the above. Okay, students, so that is the class. Okay, I hope you come back again for more knowledge. We'll be in the next class, we'll be discussing about the fruits and the seeds. Okay, Thank you for coming today. I hope you have a great day ahead. Bye-bye.